Hello everyone, welcome back to Baldur's Gate 3 Overexplained. Last time, we got the whole party up to level 4, including the members of the party that were not currently travelling with us in Gale and Will. But for now, we've picked up the same 4 that we had previously, and now we're going to leave camp, and to do that, we can just fast travel to any of the places we've been before. So we can go to the roadside cliffs. And this is where we met Gale earlier. And then we can go up back to the Druid's Grove, where we can do a little bit of trading and a few other bits and pieces. Because we will have accumulated a lot of stuff over our adventure. I've not been too picky about grabbing every little thing we find, but of course, if you want to be more thorough, you can be. There is also an additional fast travel point over here if you want to have one that's a bit closer to the Druid's Grove. We just get close enough to it, it will then be added to our list of places we can travel through. But otherwise, we did not loot all of these folks after the battle, so we'll see if there's any particular stuff here we want.
Will we survive?
Cash is the simple choice.
Only if my people extract them. The only other cure is the blade.
The rest of the stuff we could take, the old weapons and so forth, but here we have Gloves of Power. Uncommon gloves. Blessed by Priestess Gut, these gauntlets aid any who bear the Absolute's mark upon their flesh, but woe any non-believer who hopes to steal their power. Creatures hit by an attack must succeed a charisma saving throw or receive a 1d4 penalty to attack rolls and saving throws. The same penalty applies to anyone using these gloves without bearing the Absolute's brand. So we could equip those if we want to, but right now we do not have the brand of the Absolute. So we would be hit with a negative for trying to use them if we wished.
Need to find a way forward.
Right, before we go and have the trading that I promised, if we climb this ladder here, there's always lots to be found in just kind of generally exploring the 3D space around you.
Step forward.
For example, if we head up this piece of pathway just around the corner from the gate, we will suddenly find a bugbear and a civilian who don't seem to be getting on very well. So let's get the rest of the party here up into the combat. Alright, they're going to be reasonably far away, but the enemy does have the surprised condition, so on this orbit through the round of attacks and other actions, they will not be able to take an attack or an action. So 27 HP is quite strong for a single foe, but we do still have Chromatic Orb, and we can cast that at first or second level. I'm going to do first level for right now. And we miss quite badly. This person is frightened, so they are just trying to move as far away as they can from the source of their fear. Now Astarion can hide, and now should be able to take a sneak attack against this person. And you'll see, now that we've reached level 3, our sneak attack is 1d6 weapon damage, plus 3 dexterity modifier, and 2d6 piercing damage. So as rogues continue to level up, their piercing damage, or their bonus damage on their sneak attacks will increase. It's not every level, I believe, it's maybe every other level up to a certain cap. But we will be attacking here, of course. And we had advantage because we were an unseen attacker.
Nothing important is ever easy.
And now they have only 15 HP left, so I think we can go with something a bit more basic.
Let's end this.
Let's see if Shadowheart can get close enough to join the fray. So this creature has 5 HP left. Now, Lae'zel might not be close enough to get a good attack in. But the other choice that we have is we could use our Action Surge to give ourselves a free action, which would then let us move forward up towards the fight. Or what we could also do is, if we use our main action to dash, we gain 30 feet of movement. We can try our best to stand in front of any of our allies, and then we can turn on Riposte. I always think it's going to be Repose, but different word. When a creature misses you with a melee attack, expend a superiority die and retaliate and deal 1d8 plus 3 plus 1d8 slashing damage. So we'll turn that on in our reactions, indicated by the spinning light. End our turn. The frightened lady is going to continue to act irrationally. Oh, she's actually attempted an attack. And they came over and decided to attack Astarion for some reason. Not sure why. And so the civilian just used Throw Stone. Fairly plain. Right. Astarion right now.
Feel death's call.
Sneak attack melee. They can do it because their allies are just about close enough, it seems. I was going to say if they can't, we can move them closer because we're on shared initiative at the moment. But that's going to kill them quite nicely.
You have good timing. Never been much of a fighter, so wrestling a bugbear would have gone poorly. But you're not here for heroics, are you? Avernus's stench is all over your skin. Let me guess. Your devil mistress sent you to get her soul coin back. But too bad. I earned it, fair and square.
I have no interest in gaining this coin. We could lie and say we do want it, but right now, I don't need it.
Care to explain why you reek of the hells?
A mind flayer abducted us, and then we came straight from the ship from Avernus to here. And we have advantage on this check, situational advantage, so we get to roll 2 d20s. And we'll take the higher, and we get to add our charisma and our proficiency, of course. Odds of failing a DC 5 check with 2 d20s, quite low.
Well, that's quite the story. And I thought I was doomed. Now I feel sorry for you. Here. Take this. It's worth a fortune. But a fortune's not worth much if you're dead. Consider it payment for saving my life.
A soul coin, true to its name, holds a mortal soul inside. It serves in the 9 hells as very valuable currency.
Well, who knows then if that will provide us with any monetary value down the line. This bugbear assassin has some poison on them. And we can leave Nadira to their life.
Is that blood? No, never mind.
So, rather than trying to... Oh, we can walk down this back end.
Can't slow
I
down.
was going to say, rather than trying to navigate all that, I will just click here. And, of course, the heroes will just navigate the shortest route possible. At least one that does not cause them any harm. But this ladder, or this elevator, is out of action because a bear is sleeping at the base of it. So
Going.
we need to find another way around.
Light on my feet.
So we can come down the main stretch here and go and find Aaron the trader, who's just among this selection of pots and baskets.
Refugees, adventurers, no one in years, and suddenly we're overwhelmed. Well met, and thank you for beating back those goblins. Most brave of you. Is there anything you need? Act fast if you do. The ritual will be complete before too long.
What are you selling?
Just some bits and bobs I no longer need.
So here we have the main trade screen. You have our possessions on the left, only those that are currently with Gothic Lord. If you want to sell anything else that anyone has, you have to navigate to their portraits. And here we can basically sell things for cash in one thing for the next. So this onyx stone, with the current reputation that we have with this trader, is worth 23 gold. So our 409 there, if we double click the onyx, goes up to 32. And you can see how much profit you'll make as you select individual items. I prefer to trade on the barter screen. So here we have a selection of what we're giving up and a selection of what we would like to acquire. So if we start putting in things like this maul that we don't need this leather armor, we don't need this silver necklace, a bunch of this extra stuff can quite easily be gotten rid of. Precious stones, jewellery, we don't need an extra dagger, hand axes, short bows, quarterstaffs, rings. So currently we have 236 gold's worth of stuff. Now we can take 236 gold from Aaron, or we can select other things of value to trade off. So perhaps we want some extra healing potions. If we drag those into his side, we can choose how many we want. I would like all of them, thank you very much. And it will remove the appropriate amount of cash so that the two sides of the equation stay balanced. So then, if it's not balanced for any reason, say for example, if we remove this maul, we currently don't have enough to cover what they're putting up. And if we want to balance out the amount of cash that we're offering, we can click the scales here, and it will make up the difference so that the two things are then equal. But we are going to add that maul. It rebalances itself, and we can barter. Then everything we have sold becomes available in his side of the shop, and we now have the cash that we were offered, as well as the potion of healing.
Well, hello.
So if we swing over to Astarion, we can sell the old armor that we don't need, the extra spare dagger. We'll keep the short sword, but the rest of that we don't need. Now, he would benefit from some +1 leather armor, which increases our armor class by 1. But unfortunately, or at least increases Astarion's armor class by 1.
Everything looks new.
But we can't afford it right now, so be it. But we will barter. Get rid of those bits.
Wits and blade.
Shadowheart has a ruby worth 640. But if we pass that to Gothic instead, you can now see that it's worth 727. And that is because Gothic has a higher charisma score than Shadowheart does, and so his trades demand a higher price. So if you do have a lot of stuff that you're trading off, you may want to pass it to the person with the highest charisma before you commit to trading on all your big deals. Now, Aaron doesn't have enough cash to warrant paying us in cash for the ruby, so if we want to get our full value out of this, we should find something else to buy. So what do we want? There's lots of interesting scrolls here. I'll take a scroll of Armor of Agathis, typically a warlock spell, but here we can cast it because we do not currently have class spell limitations. So we'll barter that. We can also, I believe, if we come to, say, Shadowheart again, if we offer up this Malachite, we can click barter and give it to him for free, and that does move the attitude slider ever so slightly. And so what you might want to do is offer up some free things first to gain a good attitude, and once that attitude is high, then trade off the rest of your valuable goods. We'll keep Shadowheart's circlet. That's a nice possession of hers. You'll also see that in these trade screens, quest items do not appear from the player's inventory either. So he now has no extra cash to trade us off for any of the wares that we have. So we'll say goodbye to Aaron for a minute.
Sylvanus, guide your path.
And instead now,
I've got a long road ahead.
if we head down through here, just at the back on this blue tarped hut here, I say hut, trade desk, but really it's a very basic forge. So we can speak to Damon here.
Thanks for fighting off those goblins. If you need to replace any gear, just ask. My selection's pretty slim. I had to leave most of my equipment in Elturel.
Let me see your wares. If you don't want to go through whatever part of a conversation tree you are in, you can come over to this trade icon here, click it, and it will take you directly to the trading screen. So here we have lots of +1 enchanted weapons, but again, these are quite expensive comparative to other objects that we could buy. We have gained a reasonable amount of cash, and this value here is representative of the entire party rather than just the gold that Gothic is currently holding. You'll see he has 10.99, but this is 13.22. And so if we wanted something like a +1 rapier for Astarion so that his sneak attacks can do more damage, we could get that here. Or a glaive so that Lae'zel might have more reach on her attacks because this is able to attack from a further distance. Or indeed, perhaps some different types of armor. What does Lae'zel still have? I don't think she's going to start equipping this battle axe anytime soon, so we can trade that off. Shadowheart still has this jewellery and her mace. Now, just because this guy's a blacksmith doesn't mean he won't take our other wares.
Trust no one.
And I think that's most of what we were hoping to get rid of here. The scrolls and other consumables we can keep on ourselves. And so if we really did want to pick something more expensive, we could trade off other things that we have. But right now, I don't think we need to make those upgrades particularly urgently. And the other main character for trading around these parts is just inside this hut here. There is an Auntie Ethel, a trader of quirk and sundries.
If it isn't the talk of the camp. Thank goodness you came along when you... Oh! There isn't a bit of colour in those cheeks, Petal. Are you hurt? Cold? Feverish? Auntie Ethel will sort you out. I've lotions and potions galore.
So, because we have wild magic available to us, we can say, don't worry, my magic can fix me up, probably. But instead, let's just see what they have to trade.
Hey, bother.
As a small amount of lag gets us to where we want to be. So here we can see that there are several potions, including a potion of greater healing. I will take that immediately. And take me back to the barter screen. There's 4 more potions of healing. I'm going to stock up on those immediately. Now, if you click and drag, you get asked how big a split of the things you're purchasing you want. Whereas if you double click, it will put the whole stack in immediately. Then we can just pay 88 cash for that. That's no bother. Then there's Corellian's Grace. The wielder, if the wielder is attacked while not wearing armor, they receive a 1d4 bonus to saving throws. Now, that is a nice boon to have, particularly for a sorcerer like us that does not wear armor. But unfortunately, it's a bludgeoning two-handed weapon that is not finesse, so we would be needing to use our strength stats to hit with it. Whereas we have high dexterity, so finesse weapons are a better fit for us. The Spell Thief is also a very interesting weapon if you have somebody who might benefit from it. Uncommon martial two-handed ranged weapon. A shiver of magic flows from this bow into your hand like a promise. Once per short rest, you gain a first level spell slot when you land a critical hit with the Spell Thief. So that would be very good if you have chosen the Arcane Trickster Cleric or the the Eldritch Knight Fighter. they would both be able to use this martial two-handed weapon, and they would have spell casting slots, so you would be able to regain those back. But as we are, our spellcasters are not proficient in longbows, so we cannot take advantage of that. I will take a potion of invisibility. That might be very handy. The other potions, not so much, but 3 potions of hill giant strength. I don't think we need all 3, but I will certainly trade off 1. So we'll drag it over. Select a 1 of 2 split. That's 1 on the left, 2 on the right. And we're going to need to trade something else for that if we want to, or we can just balance up our gold. So the rest of this stuff I think can remain. So we'll come to the top right corner, click the cross,
No, sweetie.
and we can carry on our way. Now, if you're feeling particularly observant, when you highlight over Auntie Ethel, you will see her health bar and her level. And she has 112 hit points and is level 5, which is not what you would expect out of somebody like this. Say, Octa here has 8 hit points and is level 1, so she resembles a typical commoner, whereas over here, Auntie Ethel has something more about her going on. And if you don't know what that is, I shall not spoil it for you. At least not right now. So that is a whistle-stop tour of trading and the things that can be traded and how to trade here in the Druid's Grove. Hopefully that gets you on a good start with being able to dump off a lot of the extra stuff you find, getting more value by using a player with high charisma to do your trading, and navigating those menus. In any case, thank you ever so much for watching. If you have any questions about trading, carrying stuff, encumbrance, any of that stuff, by all means, do let me know down in the comments below. Otherwise, thank you ever so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.